Christianity's destiny is about Christianity, its character and fated course from the day and time of its inauguration at Pentecost in AD 30. If you doubt its character and fate could be known, this book has more than ample evidence to persuade you otherwise, in what is a unique exercise. Major world religions don't have this kind of pattern to show for purposes of study. Christianity's destiny could be called a sequel to my Testament of the Magi, a sort of book of Acts to follow the Gospels. However, for reading purposes it's completely independent. You won't understand it or enjoy it more or less for having read the other first. If you read both, Christianity's destiny might come across as a bit lighter in tone than the other, reflecting that whereas Testament of the Magi had a long germination and was finally written as a real spiritual task, Destiny was more an inquiry in which I was satisfying my and any reader's curiosity. And it is truly illuminating, indeed even without the numerous facts and details that emerge. It's illuminating to begin to absorb just how much the religion, born amid a speaking in tongues, has affinity with its birth sign Gemini, the sign of languages and communication, but also of division, of dark and of light, because surely this would be a faith displaying great sanctity and major corruption, while with Saturn the principle of conservatism widely conjunct the birth sun. Unthinking conservatism, including shocking linguistic conservatism, as in the idolatry of the Latin Mass and the King James Bible, would bedevil Christianity over the centuries. In this book, you will meet the different saints and sinners, theologians and preachers, their critics and enemies, all in right place and sign and suitable interrelation to the whole. The reach is wide. All spiritual movements are potentially relevant to the advance or retreat of religion, so the picture even includes such as the role of Dawkins and Hitchens. The author of God is Not Great appropriately struggles with the chart's part of religion, and the likes of Marianne Faithfull, who influenced Mick Jagger towards sympathy for the devil, the hit which, however, unintentionally became the modern Satanist anthem. Marianne is suitably on an axis with Bulgakov, the author of The Master and the Margarita, which she so loved and which makes Satan hero of the party. It all fits. You can say some of it is coincidental, and possibly some of it is, but to arrive at such accuracy and relevance on such a repeated, large scale over hundreds of instances, well, pure coincidence isn't very likely. And then too, the pattern still works, as does the data of Christ, and this gives me cause to reflect on astrology and prediction and speculations of the kind that would foresee the imminent end of the Church. How is the religion likely to end up? A true and working chart must be able to supply a modicum of indications at that level. The second part of the book is mainly taken up with these prophetic issues. I consider how the wisdom of the Magi should ideally interact with the function of prophecy, a lot of which today is sensational, inaccurate nonsense, which presents itself without means by which we can hope to test it. But astrology is one such means. It can supply us clues about the reliability of the person making the forecast, and if we have the time of their alleged visions, clues as to how likely, if at all it is, their vision would eventuate, and whether, assuming it's true, it makes more sense for the short or long term. I critique especially two self-proclaimed prophets and show how their forecasts, right, wrong or unclear, stand up against the celestial patterns. This section was developed against the background of various forecasts, declarations and prayer petitions in relation to the major floods hitting Australia in 2011. And what I have to say makes a lot of unexpected sense. I'm always saying that astrology represents religion's last or at least new frontier. I think if you read Christianity's Destiny, you may agree. This book, like all my books, is available on Amazon in Kindle as well as book version. Testament of the Magi, due to its many diagrams, is not available in ebook form.